Okay, let's hope I am. Oh, Frank and Jackie, good morning. I feel better when I see somebody there I know and appreciate so much, you guys coming on. It's really kind of a challenge here. But there's another streaming service I may have to break down and use because this is the big one. It's free, but it's like got all these controls that I don't need. But the other one, I would be able to interview and talk with other members. I feel like we have a club now of sculptors or people who are interested in sculpting, and would be great to have you guys on the show. We have this kind of idea for a sculpture show that has to do with putting together, ideas for people to learn sculpture who thought they never could do it. That's really the whole purpose. I didn't think I could sculpt at all when I was young. And it was only through Chuck Oldham, who had sculpted since he was a little kid, showing me different ideas and ways to approach it, that I started to gain confidence. And only by doing it did I really gain confidence. So I promised y'all that I would work on these ears, and I'm doing it kind of now because I didn't have really time to do it. I did do some edits on the face. I felt like I needed to work on the face. So I did work on that a little bit. And I'll show you close up here now. I just did a little bit more refinement on the face. I felt like it was too much like a kitty cat. And I really wanted it to look like a wild animal bobcat, a kick butt. Hi, Al. Good morning. It's great to have you on. So this obviously is really rough. I just kind of threw some clay on there because what happened was when I got the tail on, let me get down on my camera view a little bit. I realized that there's sort of like a rump of fur right here. And so that needs to be refined, and I didn't get time to do that. It'll be a slow process as I go along. But if any of you want to contribute ideas or show your sculptures, I'm ready to switch views and do an interview and show what you guys are working on. So there's a lot that has to be done here. But let's talk about the ears today, because that's what all big cats or kitty cats. Yes, you know what? They really are. And it's deceptive because they're so cute, right? They're predators. They're big time predators. Let me go back to this camera. Absolutely. Cindy, hi. So what I'm thinking of doing is getting the other streaming software, which is 100% easier to use than this one. I can still show the close-ups and everything, but I could actually have some of you guys on as guests where I could interview you and you could show what you're working on. So that would be a cool thing, wouldn't it? I mean, it's not all about me. I'm not the best sculptor in the world. I just know a lot. I know enough to be dangerous, which is kind of fun. So, I feel like this is a wonderful pursuit. Who cares if AI is getting better and can do 3D printer stuff? And it's not about that. It's about having a moment of it's sort of transformative. You can get into a project, get lost in it, feel proud of it when you're done. Everybody appreciates what you're making, your family especially. And, it's a great pastime. It shouldn't be looked at as a commercial endeavor, which, during my professional time in it, unfortunately, I saw it as, I got to get this done. This is a deadline. And, fortunately, I've had a chance to revisit all this and think about, I wouldn't go back and change it. I am so grateful. Thank you, Cindy. I'm so grateful that I did have a career as a professional sculptor now. It was, we were like elves and we were working all night. Mark, good morning. And, yes. So, the thing is, we kind of have a club here. And I know I've seen it, Mark's amazing work. I haven't seen, and Cindy, you've had an amazing, I think, adventure in sculpture, which I'd love to show you what you're working on. And so what we might do, if you guys want to, and you might want to write me at learnsculpture@gmail.com and give me your ideas, because wouldn't it be fun to kind of talk back and forth a little bit on this show and ask questions more directly? And we can do that with, I forget what it's called. It's another streaming So you can do a live stream where multiple people can participate. So, it might not be boring. I won't feel under pressure to like, oh, I've got to get this done and have a new plan. And I need the time to work on it in addition to doing all the other things. So anyway, there's just a thought. But meanwhile, back to what I promised. I said I would work on the ears. And I have 2 dogs, and certainly they're different than cats. But what's so interesting is if you have a pet at home, a cat or a dog, look closely at their ear. And what you'll see is the same thing, only different dimensions of it. But there's this part. Let me go close up now, and I'll show you. There's this part. Let me see if I can get close to the camera. All right. That goes in. Let me bring my light over so you can really, I turned off my light. Sometimes it's too bright. Okay, I started it. I didn't refine it. But there's this part that kind of goes in and then comes over. So this kind of folds around. This is an outer thing. And then this back here is like a weird little pocket. And it's almost independent. Can you kind of see that? And that's where I show on the, like if you look at I can't even point to them, but these pictures, look at that tiny little pocket. Now, if you have a pet at home, make them hold still. And you've got this little pocket there. It's the weirdest thing. And you will see, so far, I'm looking at Al's comments. So the thing is, it's not that hard, actually, when you realize it's like 3 ears in one. You've got this little, and this looks like it wraps the other way on this picture. So you can wrap this, it's like a curly Q. It actually, when you stretch this out, and I can just do it like that, it's one form. So it's like it goes in and comes out. There's a lot of fur on the Bobcat, which really obscures what you're seeing. See that? How I have have it go in and then come out. And then this pocket, and I need to add more clay to do that, is here. And I want this to be very accurate looking myself when I'm done. I'm going to try anyway. So let me get my tool here and get that in there, because I'm also looking at my, let's show you, I've got a Bobcat up on my screen from a video. I stopped the action, and that's very helpful, because what I can see from that view is that these ears, for example, aren't just like, let me turn it this way. They're not thick at the tip. They kind of taper right here. So I'm going to want to do that. Right. Mark's saying this is a kind of detail that you just don't notice at all until you have to kind of get into it and go, okay, what is that? And it's actually, the front part looks like 2 different areas, 2 different forms, but it isn't when you stretch it out. So it kind of connects and draws in right in here. If I can show that. I wish I could get closer. Let's see how close I can get here without, well, in another lifetime. I've got to figure out how to do another camera setup where I can zoom in, but I will. I'm getting there. I'm also going to get a faster streaming service just to make this really go fast. But it's like a little pocket right there. Now, it doesn't look like that on the outside when it's done. You won't see that. It's almost flush, but it does kind of cave in here. Now, when you look at the animal, that if you have a pet and you look closely, what this little structure or group of structures allows to happen is the animal can now collapse its ear backward. It's really interesting how this allows, my view went out on my screen here. It allows the animal to put its ears back, like when they're, mad, or when they're scared. You know how they put their ears back, right? And oh, Al, I really appreciate that comment. Oh, yeah. Oh, the furry extensions, actually. Now, Frank and Jackie are asking about the furry extensions on top. That's actually the easiest part. That's the easiest part, because like you go like this. In fact, I could even thin it out. Let me try to demo. That's a piece of cake compared to what I'm trying to talk about that ear structure. So you would simply, that's not going to be hard to do. That won't be hard to do. I need to work on this. What I'm seeing is I need to do the fine detail. The viewer can pinch the screen and zoom in. Oh, well, the thing is, though, I really want the 4K. I want it to be the detail level that you need to really see what I'm doing. So that's I can't really. I've come to realize I can't easily talk and do this kind of detailed work. It's hard for me to do that because I really need to concentrate. But I will work on this and get this done. But what I wanted to make sure I did was I kind of promised you all. That looks horrible. Okay, because I'm talking and not looking at anything. But I promised you all a set of new pictures. And I couldn't put them in the book yet. It was too much. But you can see, these pictures can be added to the booklet. I sized them to be the same size for your measuring. And so you can see those little pockets on it. Well, you know what? They will look, I think it will look real when we're all done. That's my goal. I'm trying to do that because I want to show you the idea of sculpture to this level. You can do whatever level you want, but I wanted people to know it's, sometimes you look at a sculpture that's done to the detail level that, and I'm using, I'll just show you the tool I'm using if I can hold it still enough. Just a little loop tool. I get this from Sculpture Depot. Whoops. Sculpture Depot is convenient to me. I don't make money telling you about Sculpture Depot. With a full piece of clay, then slice in half with cheese wire, and then she hollows it. Okay, so Al's talking about water-based clay, hollowing it out and everything. Right, Al? You're talking about water-based clay, and I'm using oil-based clay. You know who's a great sculptor? And I used to, years ago, we knew Philippe Farreau and his wife, Charisse. And I just have been out of touch for many years since Chuck passed away. But fire up Philippe Farreau, F-A-U-R. I can't think of his name, spelling. I should put it on the community tab. He is one of the best sculptors in the world, in my opinion, in water-based clay. And he gives lessons and just amazing sculptor. He was friends with Chuck many years ago. And I think Chuck was really, really impressed with his work. Of course, he's really good. And so, I just want people to know that it's possible to learn this by practicing. It's like a musician. You can't expect anybody to be any good at piano or guitar if they don't practice. It's like shocking, but it's the same thing. It's really the same. If you practice and you use a guide so that you don't get lost, look at the difference in the ears. A guide so you don't get lost, you are going to be successful at this. You will. And you'll get better if you keep checking. You got to, don't get lost. Work for a while and you go, oh, yes, Philippe Farreau. What did I say? Did I say the wrong word? It's been many, many years since I've been, I remember the last time we were in touch with them, I was being asked by Charisse about painting resin sculpture because I had worked out a special method for painting resin a sculpture that allowed you to blend I'll switch to this view, allowed you to blend the colors. And I got really good with coloring and both the porcelain and the resin sculpture. And one of the things, he's very dynamic. I'm glad you know. Oh, he does more than comic book. But I saw the recent anime that he did. It was amazing, yes. So, everybody on this live stream, look him up. You'll be amazed. But he is one of these people, he has sculpted his whole life. And that's what happens. You get good because you're doing it. Don't get discouraged because it just takes practice. And keep measuring and you go, oh, I messed that up. Fix it. Just fix it. And sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm never going to get it's very common to feel like you're never going to get it, never going to get it. But you will. You would be shocked at how it transforms over time. So just like practicing a musical instrument, you'll get good. So I will say goodbye for today. And those pictures that I have on the screen are in the community tab on the YouTube channel, Learn Sculpture, so that you can download those and add them to your booklet. I'll add more to the, I thought about this. I thought, the paws too. I didn't get to the paws. They're kind of easy compared to the ears. They only have 4 toes that show. And then there's one in the back that doesn't show because it's covered with fur. And same with the front foot, 4 toes. You'll see it online, plenty in the videos. So everyone, thank you so much. And email me at learnsculpture@gmail.com. We want to keep this going. Like Al's saying, somebody hasn't uploaded in a while. I haven't seen her. There's so many good people, but to do a canned video, it takes a lot of time. That's why I want to do the live streams. And anyway, I'll say goodbye for today. And thank you so much. See you soon. See you on Wednesday morning.